Sweeney for New Zealand got an area record. And Goodkoff of Russia also setting a season's best. We have one last race for you people. And then we're out of here. It's the men's 1500 meters T11 second semi-final.
By George, really done. Odair Santos, gold in Christchurch 2 years ago, reigning world champion. 7 times the Paralympic Games medalist, but no gold among that. Shinya Wada, silver in the 5,000 at London 2012. And Edwar, Samaca Rubio of Colombia with his guide Edgar Medina Sanchez. There's only 3 in this, and it's the first 2 who go through. They join Christian Valenzuela and Nuno Alves in the first semi-final. So this is the second. And well, in the end, Valenzuela went through in lane 6. We saw that in the steeplechase, didn't we, during the Olympic Games in London 2012. They're underway. Odair Santos of Brazil, Shinya Wada of Japan, and Edwar Samaca Rubio of Colombia. The guides, Carlos Santos along with Odair Santos, which is a normal thing for them. Takashi Nakata is alongside his Japanese compatriot Shinya Wada, and Edgar Medina Sanchez alongside Edwar Samaca Rubio of Colombia. The guides, needless to say, have to be from the same country as the athlete, not necessarily the same sex, although it helps the women if they have a male guide. I don't really think it would physically help the men if the guide was a female, unless it was someone like Paula Radcliffe. 3 laps to go.
And just to place this race in history, this was the day that we learned that the royal baby prince was to be named George Alexander Louis. So, it's the Colombian in the lead, Samaca Rubio, ahead of Santos of Brazil. Odair Santos with Carlos Santos as his guide, and Wada of Japan in the red being left now. So remember, it's the first 2 in each heat, and it looks as though at the moment it's going to be these 2, Samaca Rubio and Santos, because the Japanese competitor Wada is being left behind at the moment. Shinya Wada being left as we speak. Colombians looking very good in the yellow, coming around here. Samaca Rubio, Brazilians behind the pair of Santoses. Still a good number of people left in the stadium to clap them round that corner. They stayed to see their girl win the sprint and their man win the long jump, and they've just stayed for this last event of the night, and why not? Because we're going to see which 2 were going to go through to the final. The Colombians from the Brazilians, and the Japanese are way back at the moment. 2 laps to go.
2 laps to go, 2 to go through, 2 way out in front. And it's the 2 South Americans, Odair Santos of Brazil and Edwar Samaca Rubio of Colombia. Santos started off as a sprinter, and as tends to happen as the years go by, the distances got longer and longer for him. He has medalled in the last 2 major championships. At this distance, he is the world champion. He is the championship record holder from Christchurch, and he's now the leader in this second semi-final as he overtakes Edwar Samaca Rubio ahead of Edgar Medina Sanchez. Sailing through, 600 meters to go. Quite a way back for the silver medalist in the 5,000 in 2012, the Japanese Shinya Wada. It's around 30 meters behind the front 2 at the moment. Santos is striding away. Might still be a race for a second spot here. There's 500 meters to go, and the lead is being held by Santos and Santos of Brazil.
Santos and Santos, they sound like a firm of solicitors. They're not. It's a runner and his guide. It's Odair Santos and Carlos Santos, and they take the bell now. And the Colombians in second, actually being caught up by the Japanese.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Sosa didn't the Colombian Samaca Rubio didn't realize that the Japanese team were right behind, because the little glance came from Edgar Medina Sanchez, his guide, and then suddenly found they were about to be overtaken. So Shinya Wada of Japan is up in the second place, but it's Santos and Santos who lead now for Brazil.
And the Japanese
something's
are
happened
stopping.
with the Japanese.
Are they stopping on the far side?
Something's happened with the Japanese. I think they're pulling out. Something must have happened. Somebody's pulled a hamstring, and I think it's the guide. Well, that's absolutely horrible for Shinya Wada, because the athlete is fine, but the guide has pulled his hamstring. Takashi Nakata, they were in second place. They put a surge in on the outside, and then suddenly they went out to lane 4 and 5, and they're gone. So that's it. Santos and Santos are going to win this for Brazil, and it doesn't matter for the Colombians now. They'll just stride along, jog along happily. They'll also automatically qualify. Well, I suppose that's the peril when you have a three-man race, and two are going to go through in the semi-final. Santos and Santos will go through. Odair Santos qualifies. He wins this 4:24.04, and in second place now, Edwar, Samaca, Rubio. And they can walk across if they want to. They can do whatever they like. They're through. They qualify in second because there's nobody in third. And it's really horrible. I feel really sorry for Shinya Wada there, because he's the athlete, and it's not his fault that they've had to pull out through injury. It's the guide. And, well, I can only imagine how apologetic Takashi Nakata will be. The guide pulled the hamstring there.
It was an extraordinary race by the Japanese, because they looked to be completely out of it. The first two broke away, then the Brazilians dropped the Colombians, the Japanese were way off, and then suddenly they must have really started sprinting, and I'm guessing because they started sprinting quite so fast that's why the guy pulled his hamstring. And obviously the competitors are elite athletes, and you expect the guides to be too, and you expect them to be a little bit faster, but maybe he hadn't stretched properly, maybe it was that injection. I mean, what a strange way to run the race anyway.
It's very unlucky for Wada. Santos with the victory, Samaca, Rubio second. They both qualify for the final, and because it was